So we are back again, and for our next episode, we're talking about a bittersweet event. Finishing watching the Christmas episode of Doctor Who, Matt Smith's final episode.
To do something real quick. You didn't aim that very well.
I had to do that, huh?
Yes. Don't go get it. That's not fair. Are you gonna give me another try?
Oh.
That shouldn't have hurt. If that hurt you, then that's bad.
It was more surprise.
That's really.
It was more surprise. But it was a good shot, actually. Caught me right in the chin. But
His chin sticks out, so I can aim at it. It's pretty good.
if it had been that chin, if I would have burst. All right. So don't judge. So.
We did this for a bit. That actually the balloon came in one of his loot crates. So
for the 50th anniversary.
Yes. So naturally I had to blow it up and kind of play with it as far as when you were little. What do you do with the balloon? You just knock it back and forth and try to get him to kind of like almost miss it and roll into the carpet and drink himself trying to get the balloon. Because it's the TARDIS, you can't let the TARDIS fall. So it's fun. It was a nice addition there. Yay, Loot Crate.
Definitely awesome.
Yeah.
So, I guess this is where we talk about our thoughts on it. I mean, it's one of those, we knew it was coming.
Bittersweet.
We knew it was Matt Smith's last performance.
Yeah.
And we were wondering where it was going to go. I mean, after the 50th anniversary special adventure, where are things going to go from there?
And what's going to be tied up, because Matt Smith's going to be gone, so it really had those specific things that were still kind of left open. And it tied everything up. Really, there was not any big questions after the end of the episode.
Yep. They tied up basically the whole string from the TARDIS exploding to the silence, where they came from. What's the question that he has to not answer and everything? All that. So.
I thought it was our cookie jar that looked just like that. And I didn't remember if I still had the adipose in there. So I was going to check on him. Then, it's not the cookie jar.
That's what you get for having so many TARDISes around the house.
Yeah. Continue.
And our tree full of TARDISes.
Yeah.
So, I guess our first part was, for Christmas one, I thought it started off very, very nice there. Claude with her Christmas panic.
Which was nice. And of course she had her Christmas crown on. I was actually kind of surprised. They have this very widespread as far as available. You can get the Christmas crackers. We got ours at Safeway. So we just got a bunch of penguin crackers. So we broke up 2 on Thanksgiving and then Christmas. And so now we might do another 2 on New Year's because they come in like a 12-pack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice. Nice little British thing right there to add to the holidays.
Definitely nice in style, but it was definitely Christmas, and it was just kind of fun, especially with the whole start off with the Doctor jumping around the ships, getting shot by Cybermen, and
his wig.
Oh yeah,
yeah, talk about the wig.
I was gonna get to that. I was about the beginning part, and then she's calling up asking him to be her fake boyfriend.
I love how excited he gets. Right, so you're my boyfriend. Oh, really? Well, it's been a while.
I was wondering, might be a little rusty on certain things.
Yes. His coif wasn't quite doctory, so I'm glad that they addressed that by saying that he shaved his head one night because he got bored. So that addressed it, because it was a good wig, but Matt Smith's hair does funky, weird things, and it wasn't really doing the funky, weird things in quite the right way, and everything, and then also seeing Karen later in her wig, so that was nice.
Maybe he shaved it because she shaved her head.
No, he shaved it for a role.
Oh, okay.
A TV role. Or, sorry, movie. Ugh. before he did his American Psycho on stage.
Right. I can see him almost walking up to Karen and saying, "Hey, look." But I just had a lot of interesting touches in there. His watching him grow old
into his grumpy old man, which was nice. It was lovely. It was also, I appreciated that they had him growing old, but then they had the excuse of him being reset. But it was also nice to basically see Matt Smith instead of him in his old people makeup saying his last and final goodbye, which still would have been alright. But being able to see Matt Smith in his Matt Smith form say his actual goodbyes was better. So I appreciated that.
And it was an interesting bit. I did like what you said there. His goodbye there, and his seeing like those visions of young Amelia, and then Amy herself, like as if he really was dying. You know, sort of accepting it and going with it was quite different. I hadn't thought about it like that when I first saw it, but you know,
made sense as far as the process.
And it was a rather touching goodbye for him, for his moment there.
Yeah.
And
well, he's the doctor. He's been the doctor for years now, and he's cemented in so many people's minds as the doctor. So no matter what he does from now on, he's still going to be the doctor, just like David Tennant.
I admit, you know what my I guess you could say what my heartbreaking moment was?
Which one?
I would say one that really did. So that
Handles?
No, that was kind of heartbreaking. I forgot we were gonna talk about
Handles.
Handles, the Cyberman head.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he I almost laughed when he came up with the whole thing. Reminder, please patch the phone back to the main console.
Yeah, what was the part though?
When he took off his bow tie there. When he actually took it off and let it drop, I was just like, this is it. He wouldn't take off the bow tie. This is it. No more delays. This is it.
And that also makes it so that Peter Capaldi's first appearance as the Doctor doesn't have him with Matt Smith's bow tie. It more differentiates them. It's here's this Doctor and here's this Doctor, and having him with the iconic bow tie would have been a bit odd, especially since that picture they know is going to go around the world fairly quickly and is going to be everywhere.
And let's face it.
So
let's face it. No doctor can wear a bow tie again for a while now.
No.
That is Matt's thing.
I think Capaldi's going neck and neck, though. I think that he's not going to go with any type of tie. That he's just kind of collar popped open like a punk. Capaldi is kind of a punk.
It could work. I mean, Eccleston just had basically a t-shirt on. Nothing special there. Tennant was the necktie. Matt the bow tie.
Yeah.
You know, the open collar and everything. Capaldi could sport that one. But yeah, that was kind of the big moment there for me. Well, I guess that was what they aimed to do with the bow tie, but it's just like, oh my god, he took the bow tie off.
But it was he had enough time to kind of say his final goodbye, say his goodbye to his fish fingers and custard, to basically say to everyone, okay, you're not going to see this Doctor again. You're going to see someone completely different. So not just for the Doctor saying goodbye, but the audience, let's say goodbye to fish fingers and custard, let's say goodbye to Amelia, let's say goodbye to the bow tie.
To the Raggedy Doctor.
Yeah, Raggedy Man.
Yeah.
That's going to be gone now. And we'll see how much this Doctor actually remembers about being the Doctor. I love the idea of Clara. I mean, we'll see, because every time that he regenerates, he tends to have a bit iffy spot there with his memories. So we'll see how long this actually lasts, or is this just he doesn't have a lot of his memories of who he is, and Clara's going to have to do her nanny talents again and kind of babysit him throughout this entire process, which would also be awesome.
It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. I mean, they're gonna make us wait a while for it, but I am very much looking forward to seeing, of course, more Doctor Who. I am looking forward to seeing Capaldi take charge of the TARDIS, and where he, Clara, and Stephen Moffat decide to take it.
Yes.
What type of doctor is he going to be? Apparently someone that doesn't like the color of his kidneys.
Everyone loves that though. It wasn't just that, it was, I saw interviews also of Jenna Louise Coleman talking about her experience with Capaldi. And then she described them during their first scene together. And of course it was out to the generation, so neither of them had said anything really to these people. These are blank slates, and she kind of was looking at him, he was looking at her. Neither of them really knew what they were going to do, and he just went with it. And she gave us a little clue. She said age doesn't mean anything, and that everyone should be really excited that she loves working with him, which thank goodness, because I do love Clara. I love Jenna Louise Coleman. She's done a fantastic job with what she's established there. And I'm excited.
I can't add on to that much.
And obviously their chemistry together is important to the show working well, so.
Yeah. I'm glad that she's sticking around. She was too good a companion to just kind of get rid of after just basically half a season. I was very glad she's sticking around. And although I'm sad to see Matt go, I'm glad that this is working out with them. And I'll be really looking forward to seeing just what Capaldi brings.
Yeah. Gonna be such a madman.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say on that one. I mean,
I think he's gonna go full on Scottish. Obviously, he's kept the accent. He's just gonna go full-blooded. Maybe he'll get a kilt. Doctor, a kilt. Oh!
Oh my God.
He can have a pouch. The pouch on the kilt that he can keep his screwdriver in, and all those things like the mouse that David had for some reason. They have a shining mouse. Wind up little things in there, kind of pull things out of his pouch and his kilt whenever he needs them.
I think the internet's about to melt down now from fangirls thinking of the doctor in a kilt. You inspired the whole thing.
I've told him this thing before. He hadn't heard it before, so I don't know how widespread this is. I thought everyone had heard this. What's the difference between a skirt and a kilt? Do you remember what I told you?
Actually, no.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot.
With the skirt, you wear underwear underneath. Kilt, you're not allowed to.
Oh,
Kilt,
right.
you're not supposed to wear any underwear. That you're just supposed to full breathe it.
Now, I'm just imagining.
To go proper Scottish.
I'm now imagining, like a week after this video comes out, suddenly Pinterest is going to be lined up with a whole slot. All the doctors done in kilt form.
Oh, Pinterest will be on this. I'm sure far before then. They're already on it. They cover things very, very well.
Of course, now there's no excuse though. This should go out to all of them out there. Steve Moffat. We should be seeing a cameo by Craig Ferguson.
I know. I cannot wait. Oh my God, Craig!
Like, you talk about the girl who waited. He is the guy who waited.
He knows how to hold his desk. He's so adorable. He always has his hardest there.
He has been pimping out Doctor Who to the American audience for years.
He really started it out as far as getting it to the American audiences, being so, he's very loyal. He's a very loyal fan. He's so into Doctor Who. He's got his Dalek thing. He does his noises. He makes up his Doctor Who songs. He does his Doctor Who skits even when he has no Doctor Who guests whatsoever. He has Alex Kingston on all the time. He has Matt Smith on. He has Karen Gillian on. He's had Jenna Louise Coleman on. And I cannot wait until Peter Capaldi comes on the first time after being officially announced as the Doctor and seeing they're in a play with each other.
You owe the man. You owe him.
Awesome. I can't wait. Especially since they were in the band together and everything. Peter being the lead singer, Craig being on drums, which he still does every once in a while. I just want to see that band get together again. But in a Doctor Who kind of way. Maybe he'll be a crazy drummer. Maybe that'll be his stint on Doctor Who. He's a crazy drummer man, okay?
But that involves no acting whatsoever on Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson doesn't act!
That's true.
He never acts! He's just Craig Ferguson.
That is true.
That's true. He animated features like, okay, what's the dragon? How to Tame Your Dragon? Even in How to Tame Your Dragon.
Who's he on that?
He was the old guy with, I don't know the name. You're asking? He's one of the, he was a guy who trained them, basically.
Goblin? He was the one with the peg leg and the fake hand?
Yeah, the peg leg.
That was Craig Ferguson?
Yeah, that was Craig Ferguson.
If I had a geek card, I'd be handing it over. I never knew. I love that movie.
I've only watched it a couple times, so I didn't know his name. Sorry. I apologize.
I've watched it a dozen times. So you watched it twice and you already knew that. I watched it a dozen times and I didn't know.
I know the voices, and he also did a voice in Brave.
Other than all I remember is Billy Connolly.
He was the middle tribesman who had the kid with the wavy hair. I don't know his name either. I'm sorry.
I actually don't remember the name.
They all have Scottish names.
Now I gotta watch How You Train Your Dragon, and then think of that now. That whole time that was Craig Ferguson.
I mean, even though he's got a peg leg, it's just Craig Ferguson being Craig Ferguson when he's doing his voice. And Billy Connolly, when he does his animated voices, he's just being Billy Connolly. Just being bitchin' and awesome. What do you do? I cannot wait. I really, there's a lot of, they're going old with it. Not, actually I shouldn't say that. They're going older with the character of the Doctor being portrayed by someone that's older. I don't think, Peter Capaldi, it's not fair to say he's old. Oh my god, he's so ancient. Oh my gosh, he's gonna die and kill over any second. He's pretty spry, jumping around all over the place. So he's good.
Yeah. He's taking very good care of himself, so he's not gonna be the young guy having to catch up with Claude, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Which is good, which is good into the dynamic. The biggest dynamic I think is the biggest thing was always that Matt was always so young, so people would act with him initially thinking he's a young man, but then he over time would come across with the wisdom and the knowledge and everything that comes with being so old.
I don't know if it's one of those things. I think the first thing they noticed about the Masked Doctor wasn't that he was so young, it was that he was such craziness.
He tended to lead that way, so I think I think maybe he did that to displace the whole looking young thing.
I don't know about that.
Distract him with craziness. What did he say right there in the episode? I'm going to talk a lot and wait for something to happen. That usually works for me.
Yeah. That's just his plan that isn't a plan.
Or as he said once before, it's a thing. It's a thing in progress. Respect the thing.
Yes.
I did enjoy too having Kieran Gillian do that Spice Carrier, which again I appreciate the fact that didn't get leaked. That was a nice surprise.
Was a surprise. And obviously Caitlin, who plays young Amelia, she's gotten older now, so she can't play young Amelia anymore. So I guess that's why they had someone else play her.
But anyway, I think it worked because the fact that you only saw enough there and the pages and everything hid the face gave it more of that whimsical, like dream vision thing.
Well, it's that, but at the same time, I don't want to be unfaithful to Caitlin, who played young Amelia so wonderfully, and who is Karen's actual cousin. And you don't want to be like, oh yeah, this girl's just like Caitlin, and then I don't want us to pass the episode by to be like, oh, that was Caitlin. Yeah, that same chick. I want to notice that that was not. And,
the unfortunate side effects, time passes and kids grow up.
Yeah.
But they walked around it well enough there, which I appreciate. And then having Karen in there, even just for a little bit, was very fitting.
And then another Pinterest people. The Mimi without thingy. Being a bit, and especially when you're a Doctor Who fan, you see the misinformation going out there, and then you see it being repinned to all these people, and you see the misinformation growing, and you know exactly how many people have repinned the thing that you saw that isn't true, and it's a little annoying. People, another thing going out there right now is that Clara's grandmother was wearing a wedding ring. And it's a wedding ring because it's a band and it's got a diamond on it, and she was touching it while she's talking about her husband who had passed, and that's her. It looks like a wedding ring because it's a wedding ring, right? And so Amelia, when she was saying her final goodbye, was wearing a wedding ring because she's married, so she has a wedding ring. And they put those pictures together and said that Claire's grandmother is Amy because look, she's got the same ring on. Obviously two people can't have a wedding ring on. That's just weird.
And supposedly in their low res screenshot capture of it, they were able to say that essentially
it's the
that
same ring.
Yeah, I mean, you could so tell in there. I mean, it was like CSI on that one.
I just want to say that's bollocks. That's complete and utter shit! So, no, this is not true. That's just being silly. So, no.
Especially for the main reason being that, as you point out, the tombstone, that wasn't meant to be as
She was already passed before this Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving.
Long before 2013.
Christmas dinner had occurred.
So.
Let's move on. I just wanted... I didn't really mean to talk about that. It just...
Had the vent, but it needs to be said.
Yeah.
Think before you post. Think before you pin.
Yeah, we make mistakes here all the time, but I will totally... I mean, we do. We're human. It's going to happen. But it's different to have just a conversation like we do and make mistakes and say the wrong thing. And it's a different thing to actually make a meme and put it in and type in the words and post it. And you have all these chances to kind of look it over and make sure everything's okay and then put it out into the world. So, not cool. Okay.
So on a side topic, I mean, we've really gotten to, I mean, with all the Doctor Who we've had so far, half the 7th season, the Christmas special, and the 50th anniversary, and then all the extra stuff that's come with the whole
Paul
thing.
McGann.
The Paul McGann Night of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary, Strax popcorn service.
That better be a DVD extra. I don't care that they're not including it. We've already checked the double features, extra features on the DVD. It's not listed. That doesn't make me give up hope that it's not going to be on there as an extra. Please, 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 because I need. It's on YouTube as a very low resolution that people have obviously pirated on their phones.
Because it was so awesome, it must be captured and shared.
But I would like a good kind of version of it that's very nice and kind of cleaned up, so I can see Strax being adorable with his popcorn and his taking phones away and talking about his humans and all of that.
It was too good to pass up. That was comedic gold right there, and it needs to be shared.
And it's really not fair that people who weren't able to go see it in theaters won't be able to see it at all. I think hopefully they'll put that on the DVD so people who weren't able to go and see it at all will be able to experience.
And if you think so too, if nothing else, get a Facebook page started. Get Strax's.
It might already be one. I haven't checked.
We should check on that. We should check on that.
There was, one of my favorite Christmas movies is Muppet Christmas Carol. Love it. Michael Caine as Scrooge is my favorite Scrooge, and I just adore the music and everything. And then the Jesus for Us Mises part always cracks me up. But they cut a song in it when The Love Is Gone. They cut it out to have a lot of versions of the movie. And it's a huge core of the film. It's very odd that it isn't there. You have to get like the old VHS versions for the entire thing to be intact, and it's out of the widescreen versions for some reasons on the full screen as far as the DVDs, because I have done research.
Just to put it this way to you, when we're watching it, she will stop the movie, go on YouTube, play the song, and then resume the movie back in.
The video, the actual part that was taken off.
Yeah.
And so we can move on with the movie. It's a weird thing. But there is a Facebook group that says, it's literally named, actually it might not literally be named this, but the gist of it is the kind of online group of people who want to put the song When Love Is Gone back into all versions released of the Muppet Christmas Carol. Especially when I've, grown up watching that version with the song in it, and there's no reason. I mean, it's a few minutes. Oh, we need to cut a few minutes out of the version. Let's just take that out. It's not really justified, especially with what it adds to the film. So, yes, we need to have everything intact, please. Thank you very much.
But we also had the opportunity to sit down and see the Peter Davidson's 5 Doctors reboot-ish, which I wasn't sure quite what to expect out of it, but it was
good. It was so well done. Georgia Moffat produced it, and it blew my. What are you eating?
Cough drop.
Oh. Sorry, I just kept hearing crunching, and I know you hadn't eaten a snack or something, so
Sorry.
just curious. Sorry.
So you know,
He's like, are you eating your teeth? What is happening?
Just so our audience knows, I do eat cough drops.
Yeah.
The secret is out.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was hilarious. It was great watching. Peter Davidson, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy almost basically lampooning themselves.
So adorable.
Stephen Moffat playing right along with it with his little dolls.
His little doctor dolls. David Tennant and Matt Smith's little dolls. Just what should I make them do now? That was great.
And kind of poking fun at with Sylvester McCoy with Peter Jackson,
yes.
And going back and forth with that.
Kane, his Hobbit shirt. Talk about the Hobbit. And Ian McKellen even makes an appearance in it as dressed in full makeup garb for his Gandalf, and Peter Jackson there, and then talk. Oh, it was great. It was wonderful.
And then John Ballman, which we didn't expect him in there.
It got me, it reeled me in pretty quickly as far as it's about half an hour long. But then after Sober You Want More, because it was so well produced and it had so many people in it and it was very well done. It's a fan film done by the actual doctors, is the best way I guess to describe it. And Georgia, she's there in the first couple of minutes, Peter Davison is trying to call her father, and she's sitting there with her pregnant self, being glorious, in her sunglasses out in her garden, and she's got a tub of ice cream in front of her, and she's got this big thing of celery, and she just presses ignore on the phone, and without missing a beat, takes the celery and just scoops a big thing of ice cream and eats it. And it's great. That's just fabulous.
It was great to have fun with it.
Yeah.
As you say, all having kind of fun with it, and even got David Tennant to pop in there for a little bit, and even got a surprise look at him with Russell T Davies, and then even the Daleks in there,
and the colored ones that you hate, the bright blue and the red and then like a white one.
Yeah. What was funniest was just watching them when they're talking to him and they all synchronized the stalkers.
We both want to know if that was actually Peter Davison and the other two, Clive and
Colin Baker and Sylvester.
I call him Radagast.
He is Radagast. Hey, Sylvester.
He would probably not mind, honestly, if I called him Radagast. Based on his performance in the short. I think he'd be fine with it.
It was just delightful, a fun ride, and it just really added to it. Kind of missed. We didn't watch it till like way after we ended up sitting down for it, but it just means there's more to the 50th anniversary than just the one special. There's just so much extra too that went with it that just adds to that whole experience. And just fun little thing to talk about.
They were adorable, and their families were game with it as well, and they came together really nicely. Brava.
So that's our take on the Doctor Who Christmas special and our talk. We retire the bow tie. Though still, bow ties are cool. We look forward to, we say our farewells wholeheartedly to Matt Smith and wish him the best of luck on whatever project he's doing next. And we'll look forward to seeing what he does with the rest of his career. And we welcome Peter Capaldi to lay us in the line of doctors.